shall we start with Atomic Heart, first of all? Because it's been on my radar for years. It seems like it's been years in development since we first found out about this game. And it has this vibe of post-apocalyptic, kind of Fallouty, kind of Bioshocky, kind of retro-futurism. I think it's Russian set, almost like Chernobyl kind of area in the world. And obviously fictional, but it's channeling a lot of different genres and influences. And it just looks freaking spectacular, as it always did right back in the beginning from those original trailers. But now it's looking even more accomplished and polished. Just looks insane. There's like weird maquette robots. There's creatures that you're going to have to combat against. There's like powers that you have, very much Bioshocky. And there's that kind of retro futuristic vibe to everything as well. And I'm so looking forward to it. And it comes out, I believe, let me just read the press release here. It releases on February 21st. Pre-orders are open, and it says Focus Entertainment and Mundfish, who are the developers, I believe they're first-time developers, are thrilled to announce the release date of their upcoming action RPG Atomic Heart. Set in the mad utopia of an alternate post-World War II world, the game will release on February 21st on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, and PC, and available for now to pre-order. And God, it just looks good. It just looks so good. And I just found out the other day there that Mick Gordon, aka the Doom maestro from 2016's Doom, is doing the soundtrack for it as well, and that just was like an extra little cherry topping on an already epic and weird, disgusting cake that I'm just this game is just like hitting all of the beats that I want from a modern like shooter horror RPG kind of thing, and I'd love to get both of your takes on this one as well. So I'll start with Sarah.
Oh, this looks absolutely nuts, doesn't it? I watched the new trailer and the combat trailer and the boss fight gameplay. Only a little bit of the boss fight gameplay because I didn't want to like too spoiled. Essentially, I'm like, I love seeing this content in advance, but also I don't want to have too much spoiled for me. But it looks absolutely insane, and I'm so down for it. And I'm trying to think if it had been on my radar before now, and I feel like was it in the PS5 like taster stuff that we got, because it looks vaguely familiar, but I also was like, Atomic Heart, what is this? And then then watched all the stuff and went, this looks brilliant, I'm so here for this. But yeah, have we, aside from it like from what I've looked into, like it's been on people's radar for like over 5 years kind of thing, but like I feel like, did we see some of it in the PS5 this is what's coming up state of play?
We saw, I can't remember if it's in the PS5 one, but we definitely saw it as part of an Xbox showcase. And I believe it's coming to Game Pass on its release date as well, which is obviously cherry on top for subscribers to that. And it's, I'm going to move on to Jamie because I'm kind of lost for words because of how excited I am for it.
So, confession, when you sent through the show notes, I looked at it and thought, the fuck is Atomic Heart? Like, I was sat there thinking, that sounds really familiar. Didn't that come out? Yeah. And then I went and looked, and it was like, oh no, it never came out, did it? I remembered it.
Never came out.
But I completely, it completely passed me by. So I went and watched the trailers and stuff and re-hyped. And we got body horror, aliens, and space communists. I mean, I'm in. I was sold within the first 10 seconds. But yeah, I remembered it after that. I remembered watching some of the early stuff and was very hyped for it before. But it just looks. Manic is the only word I can think of to describe it. It just looks like it's going to be absolute balls to the wall insanity, and I'm absolutely sold. And so polished, it looks gorgeous. Like even the quite hideous creatures. There was one in there with like no head, but it had like a moray eel. You know, a lamprey fish. That's what I was looking for. It had the lamprey mouth where its neck was.
Yeah.
And I love stuff like that. Anything with that sort of body horror, slightly off-putting element. but it also looked really beautiful in as much as it was a very polished, hideous creature from the darkest reaches of your nightmares. So no, I'm very much in. And Mick Gordon doing the soundtrack, I didn't know that. That's just sweet as a nut, because that guy's
I know.
ridiculously
I'm just
talented.
watching the trailer here as well, and I'd forgotten that a lot of the weaponry seems to be like super low tech, but really like powerful and channeling different elements like fire or electricity, or there's that kind of almost like from Fallout 3 when you've got the thing that launches the nuclear bombs from your shoulders, like a tin can sort of thing that can launch. They can launch rockets. It's that kind of stuff, and it looks like they're channeling a bit of like City 17 from Half-Life in terms of the world building and the environments and everything like that. But again, it's like the combat and the action and the art direction is just ramped up to ridiculous degrees. And Sarah, you mentioned that that boss fight. I saw something online which made me really, really howl out laughing, because the boss fight video that they've released was a big like iron ball kind of thing with arms and stuff, and then somebody had shared a link to the Incredibles movie, the Pixar movie of the boss from the Incredibles, which is a giant rolling ball with arms. It's like indestructible. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's actually so true. It's so close to that, and it just looks so insane. But it looks just so good, so good. And Mudfish as well. Mudfish are like, who are they as a developer? I don't know anything about them as well.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of a I'm trying to remember the name of the film, Matt Damon, Elysium vibe to it, because there's some elements of it that looked really sort of like very pretty and polished, and you had the very shiny, like I said, space communist robots. That's the only phrase I can't get out of my head now. It's driving me mad. But the very shiny, very and then other areas which look more like the slums. Like you said, some of the weaponry that you've got is very makeshift almost, or old fashioned. So I'm wondering if you're the revolution fighting back against the oppressors kind of thing. I know it's alternate post World War II sort of thing. So I'm wondering if you've got a bit of fight the power sort of thing going on in there, where you're taking on.
It could be like the wealthy elite have the best of everything. Like they've got the automatons, which are ultra sleek, and then you're just like a down, poverty-stricken, trying to rise up against the establishment. It could be really quite an interesting political angle as well.
So look forward to.
I'm here for it.
Getting hands on it. You said it's Games Pass.
I know. Apparently, it's coming to Game Pass as well. Yeah, on February 21st, I think it was. We said so. One to look for, definitely. And
love Games Pass.
It just looks like just interesting and a bit different. And if you've been starved for a new BioShock style of game, which still has that incredible world building from the original games like Rapture and then Columbia for BioShock Infinite, it looks like this is going to fit that mold really, really well and scratch that itch as well to say, okay, yeah, I want these like bionic powers, but I also want RPGs. I want to be able to craft my own weird and wonderful weapons and figure out what the heck is going on with this world that the developers have created for Atomic Heart, and what does the name Atomic Heart mean in the lore of this game as well. It's obviously it's just exciting to think about, like really exciting to think about where it could go. And I get easily whipped up into a bit of a frenzy when it's something that is just really interesting and different and it looks really, really quite cool. So make no apologies for being a crazy fanatic.
No. Everyone loves a crazy fanatic. And I think we all kind of egg each other on as well. We're like, yeah, this is so cool, right? Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
We do.
And what about? And what if? And